This Listener Questions episode of Walt Disney World Today is sponsored by MEI and MouseFan Travel. It's fun to be free this month at mousefantravel.com. Get a free Mini Mickey Pocket Guide, free Dining Magic Your Way package on select dates, and always get free guest services and free expedited shipping, too. Book by May 31st and make your next trip to Walt Disney World worry-free at mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
And it's Wednesday, May 21st, 2008, and this is episode 412 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hodgberg from StudioCentral.com. On the show today, we have Mike Scopa of allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, lady. I think he likes you.
It sounds familiar, but I can't.
Hold on. It's not Stitch.
What are you looking at?
Hey,
Great movie about aliens. Yeah.
The alien
Yeah,
scene.
that's right. There you go. See, that's why I sound familiar. On the show today, we also have Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
Welcome back, Matt. How's it going?
Outstanding. And also joining us today is Annette Owens of MEI and MouseFan Travel. Hi, Annette.
Hi, great to be back at home, but still chatting with you guys.
It's Wednesday, and we're back to answering your listener questions on Wednesdays. And we'll start out with Julian Tapp from the United Kingdom, who writes, Mangello, everybody. Just wanted to raise a couple of points. In episode 399, you discussed the reduction of benefits you benefit from as far as being annual pass holders. A comment was made that Disney Vacation Club members and annual pass holders are Disney's most loyal and highest spending guests, which I also agree with. As a DVC member, home resort being Saratoga Springs, our benefits are also reducing, including a reduction or complete removal of many dining discounts. Paying many thousands of dollars in advance to Disney and therefore committing to return on a regular basis does not seem to guarantee any loyalty in return from Disney. I know the benefits are not guaranteed, but you do consider them perks to joining Disney Vacation Club, and their removal is disappointing. Secondly, you have stated several topics on shows and do not appear to have finishing them. For example, dining options in different lands in Magic Kingdom and planning a trip for one person going to Walt Disney World. Will you be completing these series of shows in the near future? Love the show. I'll answer the second question first. Yes, we are. Those, like the different lands in the Magic Kingdom, those kinds of shows, those are shows that we kind of have in reserve, if you will, for the future use when we need to get a topic offhand. But also the good news is for the other show, the planning someone's trip to Walt Disney World, we've got someone actually coming on this Friday. So stay tuned for that. What do you guys? Any comments about what Julian mentioned in terms of the DVC lack of benefits these days? Or he said it all?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I think Disney knows that once you've got an annual pass or once you've got DVC, you're pretty much locked in. So there's really no point in them giving you anything else.
Yeah. Next email is from Rafi from Manila, Philippines, who writes, Hi, Mike, Len, and Matt. Love your podcast. I love Scopa Towers. Not honeymoonish enough, though. I would like... It's not honeymoonish enough for him, though. I would like to hear some tips for you guys on honeymoons. Did you guys ever spend honeymoons, weddings, Disney style? The fiance and I are going to the world December 2009 for 14 days. It will be my fiance's first time at the world. I've been to the world in May 2007 and stayed at Scopa Towers, a.k.a. Pop Century. Here's my main question. We plan to stay at a value or moderate resort for 10 nights and a deluxe non-vacation club for 3 nights. Which hotels do you recommend for honeymoons? And while you're at it, he also wants to know restaurants that we recommend for a nice romantic setting.
All right, so hotels...
He's got value moderate for 10 nights and deluxe for 3 nights. So I think we're going to probably aim him towards one of the moderate resorts for the 10 nights. Is that a fair guess?
I would say so, yeah.
Don't do a value, please. Don't do a value.
Yeah.
I'd say
Just from a woman's perspective, please don't do a value.
If we're going to go with moderate, I'd go with Port Orleans, French Quarter, or Riverside. I think that's a very of all the moderates, I think that's probably the most romantic.
And this is coming from the guy who had his way with Marie Antoinette, so I think he's got some credence here.
That is correct, Matthew. That is correct.
I think, in terms of moderate, French Quarter is by far the highest rated one in the book.
Absolutely. And what about for his 3 nights at a deluxe non-vacation club resort?
Non-DVC, huh?
He says non-vacation. I'm not sure if he meant if he's ruling out any DVC resort or if he's just saying he's not a DVC member.
You know what did really well in the latest version of the unofficial guide? The Dolphin.
Really?
I guess the Wilderness Lodge Villas doesn't count, right? Because the Wilderness Lodge was Saratoga Springs and Wilderness Lodge Villas did really well, but also the Polynesian and the Dolphin did well.
I would say, Polynesian is great I think that would be a great option for the honeymoon. Swan and the Dolphin's going to be obviously a more economic option. So if money's a little bit of an issue for you, Rafi, and you're trying to save some money, that might be a good option to go with the Dolphin rather than the Polynesian. But I would vote for the Polynesian. Annette, what do you think for the deluxe option?
I'm really loving the Wilderness Lodge, or the Polynesian.
Not the lodge, the villas. I think the villas is higher ranked because of the room you have.
Yeah. Well, but because he said the DVC thing, I'm just kind of exactly what he means there. But no, the villa is perfect. I mean, just doing just a studio over there would be just great, just with the one bed and the sitting area, the rustic feel. But I guess the biggest thing is just don't do the value. Started out. Oh my.
Next email is from Lee, who writes in about our trip that we just took over last week when we all did the Walt Disney World Today research trip, unofficial guide research trip. And he suggests maybe you could turn this, guys, into a yearly event, maybe Mayfest, Mousefest Light, perhaps.
Nice.
I like the idea. Lee also writes, by the way, I work for a company in Compton. I've been listening to the archives, and I crack up when I hear you joking about your listeners in Compton. Believe me, there's at least one of us.
Cool.
So, Len, do you have any messages to your homies in Compton?
I'm flushing my 3-finger West Side symbol right now.
Nice.
Lee.
Flushing or flashing?
Flashing.
Okay. If you're flushing it, that's a different thing.
I thought he said flushing.
That just totally builds your street cred right there, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Next email is from Brian from New Orleans, who writes, "Hello, LM Cubed. I was wondering if y'all had an episode devoted to the Disneyfication Club or could do one. I'm interested but do not know all the details about banking, borrowing, and everything else. I know I could go read their frequently asked questions on the DVC website, but it would be better to hear it from people who are familiar in the process. Plus, any topic that would allow Newell to talk more is never a bad thing." Brian, I echo your sentiments exactly. One of these days we're going to have to do a completely devoted DVC show. Didn't we do one with Chantel Crawford from DVC Every Resell a while ago?
Mike Newell show.
Yeah, Mike Newell show, exactly. But one of these days we will get around to doing a all DVC show. I like the idea, Brian. Next email is from Hayden Pronto, who writes, "In episode 372, you talked about getting packages sent to your room. Now, I was in the Polynesian during the marathon weekend and attempted to use this service, but I could only get purchases sent back to the boutique shop where I had to collect them. Was I doing something wrong, or is this to room service only available at certain resorts?"
No. Yeah, you know what? Last time I stayed at Saratoga Springs, I had exactly the same thing happen. Or they'll deliver it to the store, but not to your room. I guess that's just another way of keeping the cost down.
Yeah.
So it's only to the shops.
I think it's only to the shops.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of misleading in that they'll send it to your resort, which is not misleading. It's just not to your room, and I think it's often confused. But you go pick it up they'll give you a call actually. So they'll call your room, and if you're not there, they'll leave you a message saying, "Hey, you can stop by the store, pick up your package, and you go down there,
pick up your crap." Exactly.
Come pick up your stuff before we throw it out.
Still better than running around holding it all day.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
I got your stuff.
Next email is from Heather, who writes, "Hey guys, thanks for turning our family onto the best frozen treat ever to be created, the Dole Whip. We're going to Walt Disney World during September 2008, the 14th through the 19th. Can't wait. I'm such a fan that my retirement plans are to be the sweet blue-haired old lady putting people in teacups with a smile. What is the bet?" That's a noble aspiration right there, Heather.
Live a dream.
Way to aim high. What is the best way to do the parks using our time best so that we can be arriving on Sunday mid-morning till lunchtime? How does this affect check-in? What park should we do, or should we even do a park? We're driving from Atlanta. We'll have a 7- and a 5-year-old with us.
A 7- and a 5-year-old
arriving on a Sunday mid-morning around lunchtime.
I'd take a nap and do something in the evening. You probably don't want to go to the Magic King. Well, the Magic King would have
extra magic
hours. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea actually. The last one we went to, when was it? Friday. Sunday. Sunday was dead last Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's May. Yeah, absolutely. And in September, it's going to be.
When are they going? Are they going? Yeah, September should be the same, I think.
Yeah, it should be the same. Yeah. So yeah, you could definitely do evening extra magic hours. I would still get that nap in though, because it'll let everyone stay up an hour or two longer. Grab some dinner and stuff too, because it's cheaper to eat outside the park. And do that. Yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea.
I like that idea. And take it easy. Get there, check in, go for a swim, because in September it's gonna be very hot out. Yeah. And then go get ready, and then maybe go into the parks for extra magic hours, and take it easy that first day, so you're not completely killing yourself. And then you'll be all set for the next day where you can go, gate to gate.
Exactly.
Yeah, the swim is a great idea for the kids, though, too, because they're going to have all that energy.
Yeah, exactly.
In the car.
Yeah, they'll be in the car. Exactly.
Next day, I'd go to the studios because you'd be out late that night. So the studios is, nothing gets going until about 10:30 in the studio. So that next morning, because you're out late at the Magic Kingdom, I'd go to the studios the next day.
Great. Next email is from Mike from Fishers, Indiana, who writes, "Hello, Mike, Len, Matt, and Saint Scopa. First, let me congratulate the formidable Mr. Scopa. I had heard that Disney was developing this new level of legend and that he was the first recipient. I'm curious as to what his 3 Disney miracles were that pushed him over the top. I would assume that the renaming of the Disney items throughout the world, such as the Scopa Special, Dr. Scopa's Magical Elixir, and the Towers, would have played a role, but please elaborate." Now that that's out of the way, on my research of the world, my wife and I spent 2 days at Scopa Towers. I decided to take a run around property and took a slight detour down the bridge between the 2 sections of Pop Century. My question is, how far along did they get on the main building of the Legendary Years? It looks fairly complete as the exterior decorations are in place. As I ran past the room buildings at the entrance to the Classic Years, I noticed that they are in disrepair, like everyone says, but they're still looking solid. Do we know how large that resort was supposed to be? Was there ever going to be more than 2 sections? Thanks very much, guys, and a very good Mangello to you all.
Guess this is mine. The building that he's referring to is called, I believe it's going to be called Legendary Hall, and that will be similar to what Classic Hall is presently. I believe also that the original plan was to build another, I think it's 2,800 rooms over there, but the question is, are they going to put suites over there? And if so, that would reduce the number of rooms, but it would increase the number of suites on the property. As far as when it was supposed to begin, I had heard back in 2006 that they were planning to really get the ball rolling late this year, and hopefully they would have everything up and ready to be opened sometime in 2010. But as we all know, things change in Walt Disney World, and their plans change rather quickly. So take that with a grain of salt.
Great. Next email's from Deb from Lowell, Massachusetts, writes, "Insert appropriate gushing and slobbering here. Mangello, gentlemen, quick question hoping for a quick answer. My sister and I are traveling to Jacksonville in July and then on to Disney World. We'll be renting a car to drive down from Jacksonville, but don't want the car during our Disney stay. We would like to drop the car off at the airport and then use one of the shuttle services to get to the Swan. Is this possible, and is it a good idea? I know the Swan and Dolphin has a car rental desk there, but I don't think my sister is using that particular company. Any other suggestions would be greatly appreciated."
Are they going to use the car to get back to Jacksonville?
They don't mention that. Maybe it's a one-way trip. That's a good question.
Yeah, because I think so. The issue though, if they just want to drop the car off and they don't want to bring it on Disney property, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. If it's just one way?
I mean, basically they're dropping off and they want to get from the airport to property the best way possible, probably best being cheapest.
And they're staying on site?
Yes, they're staying at the Swan.
Magical. You can't do Magical Express to the Swan.
Can't do Magical Express, yeah.
You could take the. Well, okay. So then you've got a taxi or a taxi is probably the least expensive option.
Yeah.
You could do Lynx, the bus service. There's
God.
I'm just saying, it's inexpensive.
You're taking your life in your own hands that way.
You're not taking your life. It's just a long time.
I think taxi's gonna be the best option right there, Deb.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
go for that one. Next email is from who's the next email from? It's from Fend78. Hoorah! Who writes, "Hello, my family and I are always stopped at the samosa and egg roll cart across from the magic carpets of Aladdin. The last few times we were there, we were disappointed that it's gone. The cart is still there, but it's not really in use. The price list has been removed, and in its place is a price list for turkey legs. Does anyone know where I can find samosas anywhere else in the world?"
Don't know.
Gonna guess no on that one.
No,
anywhere in Epcot World Showcase? No. don't know of any.
I don't even know where any other egg roll carts. I know the cart that this person is talking about over here.
Yeah.
I have not. Maybe one of our listeners said, if you know where you can find samosas anywhere else in the world, why don't you go to wdwtoday.com, we'll go to the comment section over there and help Fend to 78 out.
So there was the one in Adventureland, but I think that's closed now.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Next email is from Matt from North Providence, Rhode Island, who writes, any news on Southwest Airlines and Disney's Magical Express that will be coming to terms in regards to resort baggage check-in? I heard that the reason they have been able to come to an agreement was because the sheer number of passengers arriving at Orlando International was too much for Baggage Check Inc. Company, Bags Incorporated, to handle. Southwest often offers the best deals to Disney from Rhode Island, especially with Ding, and the resort check-in with Southwest would make for very convenient for our trips. Take care, and Sunday live broadcast was great.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, live shows are always a lot of fun. So, as Matt mentioned, be sure to join us because it is a lot of fun to join it. But answering his question, Southwest Airlines and Magical Express and having the resort, check-in option over there. Annette, have you heard anything about that?
I've heard they're still in continuing talks, but I've heard several different reasons as to why the baggage, the number of bags.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah.
Yeah, is one of them. I don't know. I'm one of those that I like to see my bags, so
I just figured
to know that my luggage gets there. So I'm not sure.
Here's my thing: when you're taking Magical Express, they're picking you up 3 hours ahead of time, which means you're going to be at the airport with a ridiculous amount of time. For me, having to check in luggage at the airport is something to do. I don't mind it, so I just do it anyway, just to give me something to do at the airport. Some people don't want to do that, but for me, I prefer to just give me something else to do in all that time you're going to have. So it's not the end of the world for me. That's a personal opinion there. Len, did you have something to add about what you've heard?
No, I think I've heard it's just luggage volume. I mean, there are days when you go there, especially if you're trying to leave on a Sunday morning, God forbid, where you can't even see the Southwest gate for all the people in front of. Although I left on a Wednesday morning and it was beautiful. I mean, literally I walked up to the kiosks.
If you leave Tuesday, Thursday, it's like ghost town over there.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, 9:00 at night. No, not a problem.
There you go.
Wow, that's right. There were only 20-some people on your flight, right?
There were only 20-some people on the flight, so
that's great.
They were shutting everything down.
Absolutely. Next email is from Brian, who writes, hi, y'all. I've got a problem. I'm heading to Walt Disney World for the first time on December 10th, staying for 10 days. My problem is where I was planning to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but now I hear that there's construction going on until April 2009. My question is, how bad is the construction, and should I think of heading over to the Contemporary or Wilderness Lodge instead? I'll be taking my wife, my daughter of 17, and my son who is 5, and was looking forward to waking up to the animals. If the construction isn't bad, will the animals still be out in the morning, or will the noise spook them? Hope to see you guys at Mousefest. Ta-ta.
It's not bad.
No, I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and the animals are right there. We never had any kind of disruption from the construction at all.
Except when the power goes out.
Yeah,
right?
no.
Well, the power did go out one night, but
that was unrelated.
It was unrelated, exactly.
Yeah, go for it. Enjoy the trip. Absolutely. Next email is from Scott in Buffalo, who writes, hey guys, love the show and thanks for everything you do to keep your listeners informed. I'm a Disney Vacation Club member and usually do not rent a car when I head down to the world. I simply use Disney's transportation system and I've always been happy with it. On our next trip in late April, however, I'm using accumulated Hilton Honors points to stay at Hilton by Downtown Disney, and we'll be renting a car for the week. First, do you recommend any one car rental agency over the other? I'll be traveling with my wife and 2 daughters, and let me tell you, these 3 girls are not light packers by any stretch of the imagination. Are there any agencies that are right in the airport terminal as opposed to having to take a shuttle bus to get to the actual rental car facility? I'm willing to pay a little extra not to have to lug their 15,000 pounds worth of luggage to an off-site rental garage.
So yeah, there actually are a couple. I think the one that I always use is Dollar, and it's in the top tier of car rental companies as judged by unofficial guide readers. The thing I would tell you to do is make sure you sign up for the frequent renter program for whatever company it is that you rent from ahead of time. Yep. What that's going to allow you to do is to bypass the line of the people who aren't in that,
and it's free.
And it's free, and you'll get front of the line access. So it's really one of those things where knowing more is better.
Yeah, I rented from Dollar. I got nothing against Dollar. I prefer Avis personally. I like.
And Avis is on site, right?
Avis is on site. Yeah, Hertz is on site. That's the problem.
So if I were going to rank the top 4 rental car companies, it would be National would be first, Avis would be second, Enterprise, which is offsite, and Budget, which is onsite, would be third, and then Dollar would be fourth. Dollar, Hertz, Alamo would all be in there.
Alamo was a nightmare one time. I remember, but
the thing with Dollar and the thing with Budget is they are by far the least expensive.
Yeah,
cool,
absolutely. Scott also wants to know, also, do you have a recommended strategy for getting into the Magic Kingdom with a rental car? The Disney Transportation spoils you in that respect because you eliminate the ferry monorail debacle on the way out after Wishes. Or would I be better to avoid the Magic Kingdom with a rental car by walking across the street to downtown Disney and catching a bus over to the Magic Kingdom and back? Thanks in advance. You can't take the buses from downtown Disney to the parks, I believe. So that's not going to be much of an option for you.
Where to where?
From downtown Disney to a park like the Magic Kingdom?
No, they stopped doing that.
Yeah. Unless you're willing to like have maybe a meal at one of the resorts, hotels, have a meal and then go over to the Magic Kingdom to avoid it, you're kind of out of luck in that regard. Yeah. It is kind of annoying because you have to take you have to park the car, you have to take the tram, you have to go take the monorail. It's not the end of the world either. I don't think it's going to be as bad as you may think it is, Scott. Plus, you get to ride the monorail, and that's always – a lot of people always enjoy that. I know that, Annette, you and I and Newell, we rode in the front of the monorail the last time you were here.
Yep. And that was great. The guy, it
was
right? His fourth day on the job, I believe.
He was like, I picked a hell of a day to stop sniffing.
Stop sniffing. That's great.
Good airplane reference there for you. Next email is from Chloe from Massachusetts, who writes, Dear Matt, Mike, and Len, Mangello to you all. I just wanted to give you some feedback for a question that a listener, Mike, asked in episode 370. He asked if you could use multiple days on a ticket instead of a park hopper option. When I was in Disney in December, one of my friends came along. She needed a pass, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't work. So.
Nope. Yeah, we need it.
Nope.
Thank you, though.
So we think by the time you read this, it'll probably be April. So happy 400th show. Insert just kidding here if it is before April. No, you were right, Chloe. It's
right on the
way
money.
past April.
Beautiful.
Next email is from Ed Aliznek of Ocean City, New Jersey. He writes, Hey guys, I have a question about the new promotion for Magic Your Way tickets to get free park hopping in water parks and more options you spoke of in episode 374. Who is this available to? I read that it's available for only Sunday through Thursday. If I wanted to purchase the Magic Your Way ticket for longer than those 4 days, how would that work? What if I wanted to add a no expiration option? Annette, this is a promotion that Ed's referring to that was available a while ago, but I don't think it's currently available anymore.
No. That's the past. That was like the spring promotion for travel.
That means I got to this email a little too late, so sorry.
A little too late on that question. Yeah.
Sorry, Ed. Next question, you'll get a fast pass to the front if it's interesting. Otherwise, I'll send it back.
Nice. Which means we really can't do anything for you there.
Hey, I'm fair. If it's interesting, I'll move it up. Next email, last email of the day. Newell's not here, so I'm just going to go with last email of the day. Is from David Patterson, who writes, I had the opportunity to spend President's Day, Monday, at Walt Disney World, and upon looking at the crowd calendar, which said 9, I knew it was going to be busy. We got there right when the parking lot opened at 8, and went and got our tickets. First ones in the park, and followed the one-day Epcot touring plan in the unofficial guide that worked flawlessly. By 10:30 a.m., the lines for Soarin' and Test Track were 100 minutes. Even the line for Spaceship Earth was 40 minutes. However, at about noon, It rained heavily for about 10 minutes. By 2 p.m., I looked around the park, and it was like we had the park to ourselves. We literally walked down the seas with Nemo and living with the land. Test Track wait fell to 40 minutes, and by 5 p.m., it was down to 20. Where the heck did everybody go?
Rain culls the weak from the herd.
It's so true.
Yeah.
When we were down there. I'm thinking the same thing happened where we were, but I'm not positive. I know we were there in February, so the crowds disappeared after rain. It was great.
That's funny.
I
don't know what happens. Yeah.
That's the great though. That passing shower or something. If you wait it out and you play it well, you may be able to avoid the crowds. Maybe leave thinking, "Oh, it's the end of the world. Back to our hotel, ma." And then you get the park to yourself, so it can work. Other than, of course, you may end up just spending your time suffering in rain incessantly. But it's worth a gamble, I think. Well, that's it for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.
This Listener Questions episode of Walt Disney World Today is sponsored by MEI and MouseFan Travel. It's fun to be free this month at MouseFanTravel.com. Get a free Mini Mickey Pocket Guide, free Dining Magic Your Way package on select dates, and always get free guest services and free expedited shipping too. Book by May 31st and make your next trip to Walt Disney World worry-free at MouseFanTravel.com.